Hello everyone, this is Kiran from Retriever by Automation channel. In this session, we are going to cover about element operations and to have a quick recap. So, in the chapter 4 implementation, I have given overview on the total the features that I'm going to cover part of implementation chapter. Okay. So this is the overview that I have covered the elements interact and US scrollable mobile gestures, web context and platform specific extensions which I have mentioned over here. Let's start with element operation, element interact today. It's about element operations. Okay. So before getting into the code, I wanted to give a overview on how we can start the automation. So this is basically useful for the workforce who are starting apps automation as a first. So for them, I have added this slide. Who is knowing the an idea on the automation, for them, it's a kind of a recap. Okay. So the first thing is this is the process team. You take any of the initial automation, not only I have Appium kind of open source, but if you take any commercial tool or any other automation tool, first we need to start with certain kind of options. So let's talk about the Appium side only. So first we need to define the options, so that we need to send some kind of inputs to the server. Then only server is able to understand where the signals are coming from and which device the signals are coming and which client that it is, whether the client is really a valid client or not. Those kind of things that can be checked by these options. So we need to send. So here gather options means what are the options that are needed for that particular app. So what are the basic? One is if you are talking about Android, we have a package name and the activity. Those are the mandatory parameters. And your device ID, device name, platform. These are the mandatory parameters. If you talk about iOS side, bundle ID is the mandatory parameter apart from other parameters. So you need to set those because there is a certain syntax that you need to set, and which you have already seen in the readiness script as well. So similar, so that is the one that I'm going to talk about again here. Only just I have mentioned for to understand diagrammatically so that you can remember what you are going to do it in the coming sessions. Okay, and initialize. So we need to initialize the driver. Okay, declare the driver and initialize. That can be happen in one statement as well. And then we have to find out what are the selectors that we have to we have to apply on the specific element. Okay, so if you are not defining that one, then whatever the purpose that we are that is not going to fulfill our need. Okay, so finally you have a simulate where you need to perform the actions. Okay, and if at all sometimes you wanted to have a attribute values, you may use those information in the subsequent steps as well. So that then we need it. So there are 4 features that I'm looking at. One is define, initialize, and select. These are the 4 that the script in any ops, in any open source automation, it will follow. Okay, so might be in commercial set a little bit different, but the way of putting the script is follow this kind of flow. Here I'm not talking about any kind of the frameworks. I'm talking about raw code which is being done by a language called Java or Python. Okay, so in these sessions I'm going to cover on the Java side, and definitely in the future sessions I'm going to adapt the Python as well. Okay, for now, for easy to understand, the features of the Appium 2.x that is integrated with the Appium client side, so these few features that I'm going to walk through, and these are the basic things. Not only basic thing, whenever you are starting any kind of app, These are the key operations on day-to-day basis that we are automating in the corporate assignments. Okay, so you can see the click operation and grouping elements and click on desired element and enter values and get attribute values and perform mobile gestures. So these are the common operations that we are doing, and keyboard. So sometimes we need to operate those operations that we need to, and simulate various control operations like a right radio button, checkboxes that we need to select. These are the common controls that appears across all the apps. So whenever you are setting any basic script, you have to either you have to touch the button, or you have to touch the edit box control, or you have to touch the radio button or checkboxes in any basic. Okay, that's the mandatory for any of the apps uh, available in the market. Okay, so this is overall the mind map whenever I talk about Appium script. So four blocks comes in my mind. One is the define, initialize, select, and simulate. Okay, so with this flow, I'm going to walk through few element operations so that you can connect with different strategies and the common operations that we come across in the apps automation. So I'm going to walk through on the Android app side. Okay, let's switch over to the code and IDE. So before starting the code, there are two things that we have to keep in mind. One is your Appium is on. And second one is your emulator is on. Third one is your Appium Inspector. If needed, you can keep it on. And fourth one is your script is ready. Okay. So let's start that one. So what I'm doing is Appium running. So here my Appium is on. Now I'm starting the emulator. Let's see. So in the emulator, I'm going to the virtual device manager, and I'm starting this particular device. Sorry, emulator. I have API demos app is already installed. Now I will start Appium Inspector as well. So I have okay this okay I kept this Appium Inspector is ready, though it may not be required for this one currently. So let me switch over to the IDE. So this is my IDE where I have the sessions. This is the so I'm using throughout these sessions IntelliJ IDE. This is the best IDE that I have seen in the Java development and even for automation development also. Okay, I've been using this particular IDE past decade. So I've seen every year on year, I've seen the how it is evolved in the new features, and now it is the recent version came up with the AI features as well. So very shortly, I'm going to give a few features on few AI features that involved in this particular edition as well. Maybe in future weeks you'll get that short session as well from my end. Okay, so now let's switch over to the element operations. So let me create one package which named as element operations. So create okay, then I'll start with text entry first class. Okay, so yeah, okay, in the text entry, so I'm just giving the description bar here. To ensure I'm using only raw code, I'm not putting any BDD statements for here. So I just given for easy understanding, if you open this particular project for easy understanding, I given the navigation and the steps for here so that you can easily understand and you can, do practice at your end. Okay. The first thing is that I'm going to show is text entry means edit boxes. We're going to enter the values in the edit boxes. So I found this is the navigation of text entry dialogues. So this particular app, of course, it does not have any kind of a business operations, but it has designed in such a way that it has different controls. So obviously, so that exactly we need it. Okay, so we don't need to worry about what is the business operations and all. We need to, at this stage, we need to worry about how I can best scripting this particular element. That we need to. What are the different methods? What are the different uh, strategies to identify that particular element? That we need to understand. That we need to get confidence so that when you start any of the the assignments, you can easily understand business operations according to your assignment. Okay, but when coming to the app side, this you need to understand the flow, what are the different controls, different strategies, how we can identify and how we can put the statement that we need to. So that's why I've chosen the different controls so that you can easily connect. So the next thing is app alert dialogues. Click on app and alert dialogues, and then the next text entry dialogues. So if you click on this one, so you need to click on that one, and you need to enter the values and click OK. So that's the operation that we are going to automate it now. Okay. So here I'm just giving the main the statement. So to reduce the time I'm copying. So these are the define UI automations. Okay, that is our first stage where I have explained. Connect with mind map always with the define app. Okay, options that we need to define. What we are sending the particular UDID and this app uh, package and activity that we are sending, and then these are the two options that we are sending, and we are defining the UI automated to options. So this method is being changed recently in this versions. So now they are not calling it as a capabilities; they are calling it as a options. Just keep this in mind. Uh, the next is like you have to declare the initialize. So the next step is initialize the driver, declare and initialize. So that one you need to. So Appium driver, for Appium driver, we are creating the object and assigning the driver Android driver. Okay, so for this one there are the two methods. One is URL we need to the pass, and we need to pass the options. Okay, these two. Okay, so these two, in the Appium Inspector also we have that URL and the port is there. Okay, this one URL and port number is there. Same similar we need to along with the options that we need to provide using the script. So once this is done, then we have to jump into the strategies. Okay, so what are the strategies? First I need to find out this navigation. Okay, we need to go to this navigation. What is that navigation? App and alert dialects and text entry. So I'm just taking that one. So driver.find element Appium by, as I explained you earlier in my sessions, Appium by is the one that you need to use. Accessibility ID I am using to click on the app, alert dialogues and text entry dialog. In the accessibility ID, what will it will take? It will take the value of content of an DXC attribute value. Okay, so in the Android accessibility ID it will take, but in iOS it will take value of the name property. Okay, so I have explained in my previous strategy sessions. You can check the slide as well. Okay, now we have navigated here. The next step, we need to identify those text boxes and apply the operations. That's where we are in the last stage. Okay, so text boxes. So username, this is for the username. So this is for the username. What? Define select, choose selector. I am giving the XPath I am giving. Okay, what is the XPath edit text? I am giving the contains. This is the expression that I have given. Resource ID, username, edit. So if resource ID value contains this particular user ID, it will be identified. Okay, so this is the username I put. Okay, then so we are taking this one. What I have to do? Simulate the actions. Okay, what is the simulation? With the edit boxes, either you have to do some assertions or you have to do some entering the values. So what I am doing is element I have taken and this one. So for your understanding, username element. Always we need to give the proper naming convention so that it will follow the standards. Okay, and then here I'm just entering the values. Okay, the next is we need to enter the values for the password as well. So I am entering the password as well. Okay. So instead of same different element, web element, give the same. So I'm just taking this one. See here, XPath expression, same thing. Password, resource ID, password edit. Contains. Okay, it has long link. This string is there, so that's why I have given the contains. Okay, after that one, I'm just clicking on OK button and ending the sessions. Okay, of this screen. So simple. So whoever is starting initially the automation, very simple, and so just always correlate with your manual operations with the automation statements. Okay, manually what you are doing, you are entering the values. Okay, so you are clicking on this one, you are entering the values and clicking on OK button. Similar thing, you need to map. Hey, whether I'm doing with how I'm doing using the automation statements, that you need to think. Okay, so let's see. So now what I will do is, since it is a raw code, so I'm just running from this particular class itself because it has main operation as well. So I have not put any the testng class or any BDD because I want I want you to understand from the raw code side, so that in the later stage, in a sequential way, you can modify this particular class, and you can bring as per your plan. Okay, so I have few other sessions that how we can from the there are various ways to understand the automation. So one among them is for who are starting from the scratch, so they have to follow the bottom up approach. I have few other sessions on that one. I'll explain in the upcoming sessions. Okay, now what I will do is I have my Appium is on, and then my app is ready, the emulator is on and app is ready. Let me run it and see. Okay, just right click on this one and run it, text entry. Let me up this app. So app is closed, so it will start from the beginning. App is launched. Click on app, red dialogs, text entry, entering the values, and then close the dialog. Okay. So these are the values. So purposefully I have not put any of the assertions, so that will be taken care in the another the sessions. But this is how we need to the practice. So in the learning side, mainly the dealing with the operation, the statements, those are the key, and assertions will come the next stage. Okay, but the moment when you are putting the values, getting the values, yes, the 50% the job is done in the automating the particular element. Okay, so that's why I have not given any kind of assertion statements, only just raw statements I have given. Okay, so once again I'm running. Dialogues, and then entering the values, closing the dialog. Okay, that's it. So that's about the text entry. Let's see about another control. Other control is so this is the one, menu. Okay, let's talk about menu. So in this one, so in the menu, I have copied the description bar here. You can go through. Okay, I will explain. So here the navigation is app, menu, and inflate from XML element and a drop down menu. Okay, so in your apps also you have hamburger control in your mobile apps. Okay, once you click on any app, any banking app or any e-commerce app, you will see the hamburger menu which has the 4 lines, right? That we call it as the hamburger menu. Okay. So we have to, click on that element and see what are the elements inside that one. So similar kind of the screen I found out here in this app. So let me navigate. What is that one? App. Click on app, menu, and then inflate from XML, and then click on this one, this drop down. You will see that this is the drop down, and then get text of the each element. And suppose I'm just in the script I have written, clicking on this one, disabled. So I'm validating this one, okay, and then clicking back. So these are the operations that I'm going to do it. Again, I'll show you. App, menu, inflate from XML, click on this one, and again I'm click on disabled, validating this one, back. So this is about the drop down menu, how we can select it. So this is of course this design is a bit different, but in other assignments, in other apps, you may see hamburger menu. So similar kind of scenario you can follow. Okay, so let me put the code over here. So the first statement is options. Okay, so we have, so this is needed, and these are the options common. We are not changing anything here. So same, I need some element over here, that's why I have copied, and these are the options that we needed, and we need to create the Appium driver. So once this is done, so you need to jump into the elements and its strategies. Okay, so you need to follow this navigation, right? Apps, so on, so on. So similar kind of pattern, text entry you have followed, right? Similar thing you need to follow. See what I'm doing here, driver that. Just a simple click statement strategy, because this is the one which most probably working in this app. That's why I have stick to this particular strategy. And for this one, I'm using the ID. So you can see appium.id. Okay. And for this one also, I'm using the appium.id. Okay. So always you need to start with the standard mechanism, ID, if name is available name, or else accessibility ID. So mostly in the Android, the operations will be, the strategies mostly working in accessibility ID. If not ID, you can take it, or else the last option is export. If export is not visible, then you need to UI selector, you need to take it, which I explained in the previous session. Okay. So I have covered different strategies as well. Based on my access on these elements, I have put those strategies, so which are working without any issues. So now I have completed the navigation app menu, and this inflate from XML, and then a drop down arrow, this particular spinner. So and then the next is we need to get the elements of those drop down menu. Okay. So for that one, what I have to do is get all elements. I need to take it. Okay. So here, this is the menu elements that I need to take it. So find elements method that you need to use Appium by Android UI automator. So here I am using the UI selector because I see some kind of inconsistency. So based on the access that I see, this method is showing the consistency. That's why I have used this strategy. And this is a text view. I'm taking all the elements. Okay. And then I'm iterating. So in the previous sessions, I have shown you how to iterate. So if you are familiar with the Selenium web automation, you can easily connect with this particular method. Okay. So you don't need to add each element into the repo. Okay. So only one repo based on your how you can design the reusable method to select the particular element from the drop down is depends on you. Okay. So there are various ways to design the particular reusable method in an effective way. Okay. So you can design and you can develop, and then you can use only single method with less code, so that that can be used across all these scenarios. Okay. So how I can iterate that one. So I'm just giving the size of elements, how many. Okay, I'm just printing out to understand whether this is being worked or not. And then I'm just iterating. So I'm iterating. I'm taking the menu element, and from the menu elements, I'm just the printing the each element text. If it is disabled, I'm just trying to click that one. Okay, in that, if it is disabled, the value is found, then it will get into this particular loop, and it will click, and it will back it will do, and finally it will quit the sessions. Okay. So what I'm doing is very simple. So I'm clicking the disable button. I'm navigating to each, looping through each element, and then finding out. See here, equals ignore case. This is the method get text equal ignore case of disabled. What I'm doing is, for each element text, I'm comparing, and then if it is matches, it will go into this particular loop. Okay. So what I'm doing is, I'm just running this one. Let's see. Once the app, click on app, menu, template, click on the drop down menu, get the values. So the first one it is not getting. Let me run. All elements. Okay. Yeah. Let me try one more time. Good. Okay. Might be some issue over here that we need to see. If it is taking this particular element, if it is working or not, that we need to see over here. Okay, and let me run this version of script to this site. I will run it and see. Here. Okay, here in this version it is displayed. I will check that one later, but this is the one how it is displayed. Okay, menu list is 9, and then you have the 9 it is displayed. Okay, so these are the menu. So in the disable also, last element it is clicked, that's why it is back. So you can see the value it is, and then it is looped through the each element. Okay, and then it matches with the disable and clicked on the disable. Okay, so if at all we wanted to see For example, let me run it and see. App, inflate, drop down, values. Again, it is inconsistencies there. Okay, this we need to try it and see. So sometimes a few elements we need to run multiple times and identify what is the stable strategy that it is available. Okay, so the menu is not getting in, but I will fix it and I'll give it when I'm delivering this project. Okay, so this is about the menu, and when coming to the next is, so let's start with the checkboxes. Okay, so checkboxes class I have. Okay. So here is the description. You can easily understand what I'm doing here. Okay, menu. This is the statement that I need it. So then you can declare okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to this is the app alert deluxe and a repeat alarm. Okay, app alert deluxe repeat alarm. Yeah, these are the checkboxes I'm checking, clicking. Okay, uncheck, uncheck. Like this I'm doing. Okay, I'm just clicking OK button as well. Okay, let me see that code over here. So initially I am putting this as a web element, checkbox elements null. This is also I'm a grouping checkboxes. I'm not adding each element. Okay, I'm just grouping. Whenever you have such the scenario, its best approach is to have a group and design a good method so that it can be scalable, can be used across multiple scenarios. Okay, so my question is here options and driver, and this is the initial navigation I'm taking directly. Okay, okay, and then once the navigation is there, we need to find out the checkboxes. What is the checkboxes statement? See here, I'm going to this is the by class strategy I'm using. Okay, Earlier I have used the different strategy. Now it is by class I have used. So contains text one. If it is a text one, then definitely it will take. Okay. And export you with the combination of resource ID. Okay. It's a resource ID, not a class. And then I'm iterating checkboxes elements, ending this session. So clicking the checkboxes, everything is same. Like you did it for the buttons, right? Similar thing you need to do it. Only click operation. There's nothing. There is no separate operation for checking the checkboxes. So I'm printing the value. Okay, I'm just getting the attribute. Okay, whether it is a checked or not, whether it is enabled or not. So I'm just getting the value of the enabled. I'm getting the value of the checked status of particular element. Then I'm clicking. So finally, every Sunday, I'm just last taking. See, if you see here, what is that one? Repeat outcome, right? This one, Sunday. Every Sunday, I'm just going through all these elements. If it is every Sunday, it will go into this one and it will display. Okay, that's the scenario here. Similarly, I have written over here checkboxes value and navigate back to get the checked and enable status of the checkboxes. Navigate back to the screen. Okay, and then the ending the session. If it is a Sunday value, then it will get into this one. So what I'm doing, what I'll do is I'll run it and see. So app alert dialogs, repeat alarm, reading the values. See here. Every value it is reading and clicking. Okay. Every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, it is giving the check status and enable status. Okay. And the text value. Sunday it is entered. Again, it is entered into the values. Okay. And then click OK. Earlier, the check status is false. Now it is true because it is checked. And button OK. Okay. So this is about the checkbox control. Okay. Now let's see about radio buttons. Okay. Radio buttons. So how I can see radio buttons? So I have given the statement over here what I'm doing. Just description. So don't compare with any of the VDD statements. So just description I have given. This is only sample, but in the corporate statement I will follow different pattern. Okay. Now we'll take these same that radio button elements and this one. Okay. The navigation. I'll show you the navigation in the app. In the app. So alert the app. Alert dialogs. And then single choice. You need to click on this one. See. Satellite traffic, you need to click like this. Like this, you need to click. Okay. Using the script that we are going to do it now. So we need to identify the group of those radio buttons. Yeah, what is that group of radio buttons that I have worked? This is the one. Spark. If you still have any doubt on the strategy, first you just go to the Appium Inspector and see manually, and then you can run the script so that you can better understand what I have given this strategy here. Here also I have given the resource ID. Okay, so if it is a text one, it will identify the group of elements. So what I will do, I have to iterate. So this is the regular statement that because the component that we are going to automate is all similar kind of elements only. That's why we are using the grouping of the elements. Okay. So what I'm doing is just here also I'm just trying to understand what is the checked value, what is the enable value. Okay. So suppose in your assignments you might have validations. What is the default status of the particular element? What is the default check value of that particular radio button? In such case, these methods are useful. The moment when you enter into that particular screen, you wanted to verify that particular radio button default status. In such case, you need to take what is the check value of that particular radio button, or else what is the default status of that particular element, whether it is enabled or disabled. The requirement is enabled, so we need to verify that one. So we are getting the values for here. Okay, when you are having the testing sessions, there is a different way of doing that one. Okay, but since it is a raw code that I am presenting directly this. Okay, so if it is a street view, it will check and it will go into this particular loop and it will click on that operation. Okay, so radio button click and presenting the value and then clicking on OK button. Okay, so now let's run it and see the script. Street view, it is selected and it is closed the particular dialog. Here is the printing statements. Okay. So this is about the radio buttons, and there is another control list boxes also we have. Okay, that is also common control that we see in the app screens. Okay, so what is the drop down list? Okay, we can do drop down list. What I will do, okay, so let me put that one. So here I'm just giving the navigation. I will show you. So app menu alert dialogs list dialog. App menu. Okay, sorry. So alert dialogs and list dialog. There will be a list dialog. See, these are the different lists that we need to automate. Okay, here we need to remove this one. Okay, and then so what I have to do? I have to take this main statement. So to save time, I'm just taking the statements, but it's a similar statements across all the examples. Okay, and next, here also I am making the grouping. Okay, so drop down elements, and then this one, and driver declaration and initialization, and then navigation. Okay, okay. Once this navigation is done, next part is we need to grouping the elements of that particular drop down list. What is that one? In this one, I have used the resource ID strategy again. Yeah, this one. Okay. Export with the resource ID. What we call it as, this is the managed strategy that we talked about. Okay, we learned about this managed strategy where export along with other attributes we are building the strategy. Okay, contains. So contains is the powerful one, and it will reduce the looping of the particular elements while identification. Okay, filtering out exactly. Okay, the next is, yeah, simple. This looping up these statements, looping of that element. I'm just giving you get text, and then if it is a 4, then I am validating. Click on that one and navigating to the next screen. Just let me show you. So for list dialog, okay, it will loop through all the elements. When it reaches the command floor, it will enter into this particular loop, and clicking on this command floor, okay, and it will validate whether it is command floor is selected or not. Okay, so same thing, see, text dot contains command floor. So this is a kind of assertion that I made it, so that if it is, okay, command floor is there, then it will enter into this one and it will give the passed, otherwise it will give the failed. Okay, so let's see, just run it and see. It is throwing error. Yeah, trouble this one. Very good ID. The IntelliJ IDE. It has community edition, so it has almost the features are useful for the automation development. Okay, so now what I will do is I'll run it and see. Okay. See. Say command floor fast. Okay, for example, I'll put this one, some access I will put. Let's see, we should fail. It is failed because I have given the some different element. Okay, so this is how you can mention same thing in your test engine statement, so that in your report it will show that that is passed already. Okay, so with this I have completed the element operations. Okay, so you can open this project. So already this project is already created, Gradle project. So in the graduate project, you need to give the latest version I have given. Build.gradle. Nothing I have not I've given. Only just I have not given even in a J unit also only Appium client version I have given, and I have used the latest version of the Appium server. So these are the running and menu. I'll see why it is inconsistency and I'll fix it. Okay, these are the element operations which come across any of the app. So you may use it, have a practice with the different elements and see. Okay. So this is the strategy that we have followed, team. That is define, initialize, select, and simulate. Okay. So so that's all I have from the element operation session side, team. Okay. So I'll catch you in the next session. Thank you. Bye.